Hi, I'm Lisa Williams. I never imagined I'd be sharing my story, yet here I am, a 33-year-old marketing executive with a successful career and a life more complicated than anyone could guess. Ever since my father passed away last year, leaving me his estate and investment portfolio, life has been both a blessing and unexpectedly a curse. Lisa, honey, you really should consider seeing that financial advisor I recommended. My mother-in-law, Patricia, suggested during one of our weekly family dinners. Her perfectly manicured nails tapped lightly against her salmon plate. Thanks, Patricia, but Emma's handling everything perfectly, I said, watching her lips tighten at the mention of my best friend and attorney. Darling, you know I only want what's best for the family, she replied, emphasizing family in that familiar, pointed way that always made me feel like an outsider. James, my husband, squeezed my hand under the table. Mom, Lisa's doing great managing everything. I reached for my heart medication, a constant reminder of my rare condition. Patricia's eyes followed the movement, her gaze calculating. Such expensive medicine, she murmured. Thank goodness for your father's inheritance. The following week, over lunch with Emma, she stirred her coffee thoughtfully. I'm telling you, something's off with Patricia, Emma said. The way she keeps pushing about your finances. She's always been controlling, but lately I trailed off, recalling the latest incident. What happened? She reorganized my home office without asking. Said she was helping, but all my important documents were moved. Before Emma could respond, Michael, James's younger brother, appeared, looking uneasy. Hey, Lisa, Emma. Just wanted to check in. Everything okay? Yeah? Why? Just be careful with the family documents, okay? Mom's been asking weird questions about your inheritance. As he left, Patricia's friend Diana approached our table. Lisa, darling, those charity event photos were lovely. Your father would have been so proud, she said, her voice dropping conspiratorially. Though Patricia had interesting comments. That evening, James brought up the charity event. Mom thinks we should combine our accounts, make things simpler. Our current arrangement works fine, I replied, taking my evening medication. But we're family, Lisa. Don't you trust us? The word trust hung in the air. Patricia's increasing presence, the constant suggestions, the missing documents, Emma's words echoed. Just because they're family doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. I forced a smile. Of course I trust you. I just prefer to keep some things separate. James's smile didn't quite reach his eyes. The next dinner at Patricia's mansion was tense. You're being ridiculous, Lisa. We're talking about securing our future, James pressed. Our future or your gambling debts? Michael's voice cut through the tension. Silence fell over the room. What did you just say? I turned to James, who couldn't meet my eyes. Patricia's smile was razor sharp. Oh, did you know? But really, dear, with your condition, wouldn't it be safer if James managed everything? I reached for my medicine. It wasn't there. Where's my medication? Oh, those old pills. I cleaned up earlier. They were expired. They weren't expired. I just refilled them. Panic surged. The room spun. James's voice became distant. She's being hysterical again. Mom. I woke up in the hospital 2 days later, Emma clutching my hand. Thank God, Lisa. You've been out for 2 days. Emma, something's wrong. They're planning something. I know it. She showed me her tablet, her expression grim. Look. Emails between James and Patricia. Once we prove she's mentally unstable, the inheritance will transfer automatically. Michael entered, looking haunted. Lisa, I overheard Mom and James. They're planning to force you to sign everything over. He hesitated. And James has done this before. What do you mean? His first wife, Caroline. She had a substantial inheritance too. She lost everything. Later that night, Diana slipped into my room after visiting hours. Lisa, honey, I've been gathering evidence. Photos, recordings, conversations. Patricia's done this to others. You're not the first, but I'm making sure you'll be the last. Diana's voice was low but resolute. I've been doing some digging. James isn't just gambling. He's committing fraud at his firm, using client money to cover his debts. I felt a chill as the pieces began to fall into place. The late-night calls, the hidden mail, Patricia's orchestrated meetings. She planned this from the start, didn't she? Like a chess game, Michael confirmed grimly. She picked you for your inheritance, your health condition. Figured it'd make you vulnerable. My phone buzzed. A text from James. The doctors say you're confused. Let me handle everything. Then another from Patricia. Darling, I've scheduled a psychological evaluation for your own good. They're moving fast, Emma warned, but so are we. I've secured your accounts and documented everything about the medicine incident. Diana handed over her latest findings. Photos of Patricia with James's first wife, Caroline. Social events where they discussed their problematic daughters-in-law. Audio recordings of Patricia bragging about fixing family problems. I stared out the hospital window, thinking of every time I doubted myself. All the gaslighting. The manipulation. They tried to kill me, I whispered. They did, Emma said grimly. But they didn't count on you having real allies. We'll make this right, Lisa. They won't get away with it. Later, I played my part flawlessly. Of course you're right, James. I should rest more. My voice was soft, compliant, the image of a dutiful, weakened wife. Under the pillow, my phone recorded every word. That's my good girl, James said, kissing my forehead. Mom and I will handle everything. At Emma's office, we examined James' cloud storage. You wouldn't believe what I found, Emma said, eyes wide. Look at these transfers. I scrolled through the documents. He's been stealing from his clients for months. A text from Michael popped up. Mom's on the warpath. She's calling your boss right now. Minutes later, my boss called. Lisa, Patricia Anderson claims you're struggling with mental health issues. Actually, I said calmly, I've been documenting everything, including my medical records. Would you like to see them? Please do, he replied. And Lisa, she's tried this before with other employees. Next, a voice message from Diana. Patricia's telling everyone you're unstable. Don't worry. I've been sharing those honest moments from her charity events. People are starting to see her true colors. Michael met me at a secluded cafe. James lost big again last night, he whispered. He's desperate, taking even bigger risks with client money. How much? Millions. And Mom's helping him hide it. Another text from Emma. Found proof Patricia sabotaged your Marshall account presentation. She called them directly. That deal was worth millions. My whole team lost their bonuses because of her. I muttered, anger boiling. Just then, Robert, my father-in-law, showed up at my office, his hands trembling. I can't stay quiet anymore, he said. Patricia, she's done this before. Not just to Caroline. There were others. Others? 3 failed engagements before James. All wealthy women. All mysteriously unstable by the end. He sighed heavily. I helped cover it up. God forgive me. My laptop pinged, a response from James' office department. Emma Sapoma had uncovered unauthorized transfers and offshore accounts. The SEC will be very interested in this, Emma said over speakerphone. Diana chimed in with new surveillance photos. James entering underground casinos. Patricia meeting with shady lawyers. Documents being shredded. Time to end this, I said, watching James sleep later that night. For weeks, I had been gathering evidence, playing weak, all while preparing my final move. The next day, my phone lit up with updates. Michael, Mom's panicking. The country club just rescinded her membership. Diana, she's losing it. Screamed at a charity board meeting. Everyone saw it. Emma, final proof of embezzlement. It's worse than we thought. Robert, I'll testify. It's time. I touched my father's picture on my desk. You taught me to play chess, Dad. Every piece is in place. Just waiting for their final mistake. A text from Patricia. Family dinner tomorrow. Important documents to sign. I smiled. They still thought I was their pawn. Game over. I whispered, sending Emma the signal to initiate our endgame. The movers loaded the last box into their truck. Your new place is ready, Lisa, Emma confirmed. James was conveniently out of town at a conference in Chicago, a thinly veiled damage control session with furious clients. My phone buzzed nonstop with headlines. Anderson Financial under SEC investigation. Massive client fund misappropriation uncovered. Turn on the news, I said, savoring the moment. Michael's text flashed on my phone. James is trying to hide from reporters outside his office building. The breaking news ticker scrolled across my TV. Anderson Financial CEO James Anderson accused of embezzling millions. Moments later, Diana called, her voice bubbling with excitement. You should see Patricia. She's at the country club trying to do damage control. They're literally asking her to leave. Patricia's shrill voice echoed through the phone. How dare you cancel my membership? Do you know who I am? Diana's reply was razor sharp. Oh, honey, everyone knows exactly who you are now. That evening, the news hit harder. James Anderson arrested on multiple counts of financial fraud. Emma burst into my office, breathless. Patricia's liquidating everything to cover James's debts. She's losing the mansion. A text from Michael followed. The board named me interim CEO. Mom's hysterical, saying it's somehow your fault. But I never reported anything. I smiled. Their own greed had done them in. Weeks passed. My marketing firm thrived and my newly launched foundation, Phoenix Rising, dedicated to supporting survivors of financial abuse, grew stronger every day. Your story has inspired so many, Emma said during our foundation's first meeting. 3 more of James' victims came forward. Diana forwarded me a video. Patricia was being escorted from her social club. She tried charging $50,000 in personal expenses to the charity board. Diana wrote, her tone laced with satisfaction. A letter arrived from Robert. Lisa, I'm sorry I didn't stop them sooner. James got 15 years. Patricia lost everything trying to save him. You were stronger than all of us. Later that evening, my assistant rushed in. Miss William, you've won the Community Leadership Award. Standing on stage, I gazed out at the crowd. Success isn't just about money. It's about surviving, thriving, and helping others rise. The applause was thunderous. A text from Diana buzzed. Patricia watched your speech from the community center's TV room. She looked destroyed. I touched the new bottle of heart medication safely stored in my purse. My health had improved dramatically since leaving that toxic environment. Michael's final text arrived. Mom had to sell her last designer bags. She's asking about James's prison visitor list. He declined to add her. I stood by the window of my beautiful new office, looking out over the city. Photos of my foundation's success stories and my firm's growing client list adorned the walls. A framed picture of my dad sat on my desk. You were right, Dad. The best revenge is living well. As I took in the view, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. They were finally paying for their actions, not because of anything I did, but because their own choices caught up with them. I was free. I was thriving. Some were in a prison cell and a budget retirement home. They were living with the consequences of their choices. That's the thing about karma. It doesn't need your help. It just needs your patience. What would you have done? If you discovered your marriage was orchestrated from the start, would you expose them immediately? Or would you play weak, gather evidence, and let karma run its course like I did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed my story of survival and justice, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more real-life stories about overcoming toxic relationships and emerging stronger. Remember, sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's watching them destroy themselves while you thrive.